De grootste nucleaire ramp in de geschiedenis was het gevolg van een reeks bewust genomen risico's, overtuigd dat er niks mis kon gaan. Een reconstructie van wat 20 jaar angstvallig verborgen werd gehouden. Dit is overleven.
How's rising, Alex? How's rising?
Well, he put the turbine in. How's that?
It's criminal, and it's got to stop, and you have got to stop it.
So we need to discuss the evacuation.
There will be no evacuation.
My name is Valery Legasov, and 2 years ago, I'd never believed that my life would end like this. I used to think of this country as a new civilization. I think we all did. It was like a dream we shared. But 2 years ago, we were woken from that dream by an accident, an unprecedented accident. I headed the investigation into what caused the explosion. Compiled endless notes and testimonies, and later I had the chance to present this evidence to the world. I didn't lie, but I didn't tell the whole truth. Now I want to go back to that night when what should have been a straightforward test on the reactor led to unimaginable tragedy. I need to relive the desperate days that followed. I need to reveal why the world really came to know the name Chernobyl.
Just like that, we should wait. Sorry, sir, I'm not prepared to remove control rod while the reactor is this unstable. How dare you? Do it.
So I don't think that it...
Do it now, I am ordering you.
Yes, sir. Protocol states that when the power has dropped like this, we shouldn't try...
50%.
I'm not about to delay this test again because of a couple of insubordinate teenagers. You will do it now, or I will have you fired and replaced.
Yes, sir, you don't think...
I will remove you from this station unless you increase power at once. Now remove the rods.
Reduce reactivity reserve, yes, sir, sorry. Menopause.
Rods controlling the reactor are removed in preparation for the test. Of course, at this time in the Soviet Union, any information about the risks of nuclear power was classified. As far as these men know, Soviet reactors are flawless. Nothing ever goes wrong. Nothing can go wrong. Of course, some of us know different. Some of us know that there have been accidents. And for some years, we've harbored silent fears of something big. But in all that time, we've never really dared consider what we really meant by big. And we were about to find out.
Subway, the steam pressure's dropping.
Well, turn it on. Switch off that whole safety relay or shut us down halfway through the test.
Luba's met Sasha's new teacher. Yeah, he says he's taught 10-year-olds at his previous school.
Please shut up. Is it too much to ask to get this done, all of you? Bunch of military crap. Let me know when the output's up.
Output 700 and critical, sir.
Happy, Mr. Akimov?
Very happy, sir. I just thought it might
Ah,
not be...
at last. Well, get this out of the way. Shut down turbine 8.
Pull down number 8, please.
Take down turbine 8.
Power's rising, Alex. Power's rising.
Well, he put the turbine in. How's that? It was stable just now.
Come on, we've had this. Let's stop it.
Come on, Alex. Shut down the reactor. The controls back in. AZ, sir, I'm shutting down the reactor.
Well, there goes the test. How am I supposed to explain that?
I'm sorry, sir. It wasn't worth it. The power was climbing. I didn't know exactly where that was coming. What was that?
What happened? Somebody tell me what happened.
Control rods haven't gone in. What's the... The rods haven't gone in.
Well, let them drop in.
I am doing. I just don't know why they didn't go in the first place. I pressed the AZ button. They should have gone in. Maybe... Shit!
Right, this is an emergency. Cool down the reactor immediately. Increase the water supply. Cool it down. Okay, well,
Get down to the reactor and lower the rods by hand. All of them. Call on that. You've got to shut it down.
I am in charge here. I am in charge. What did you do, Ahmad? What did you do?
Nothing, son. I don't understand it. Look, I pressed the AZ button, but it didn't shut it down.
The power surged.
The power surged.
Yes.
Kolya, it's Yuri. I've just called Brukhanov.
Oh, no.
I had to.
Why? For heaven's sake, why?
The entire roof's been blown off. The fire brigade are
just
here.
please don't call anyone you don't need to. Okay. Brukhanov knows. Look, we'll be all right. He'll see that when he gets here. Just more water. Keep the reactor cool. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Who did you send to the reactor?
A nuclear reactor like the one at Chernobyl contains about 20 times the nuclear material of an atomic bomb and many thousands of tons of highly radioactive graphite. If it's damaged severely enough, all this radiation will escape. It'll travel through almost anything. Drift with the wind. Odorless. Indiscriminate. And it takes life in silence.
It can't be. It can't be. Where's the reactor, Ellie? It's there. Firemen on the roof. We better get out of here. The reactor's gone. The roof's been blown off. It's everywhere.
The reactor is gone.
The reactor's listen, you've got that wrong. The reactor is fine. You have got to be wrong. You've got to be wrong.
Well, their faces, sir. The water pipes have been destroyed. There's water everywhere. Dust. It's just...
No way, no. Now listen, Brukhanov's going to be here soon. I need to tell him that we're cooling that reactor. Now you two go to the infirmary. Babachev's team are here, so you two go home. I got to meet Brukhanov.
Severe exposure to radiation begins a decline that is untreatable and atrocious. After initial dizziness and vomiting, sensitive tissues like the tongue begin to swell. Skin blackens, detaches itself. The cells of your body begin to break down. But your DNA is also grotesquely transformed so that in the days following exposure, you're gradually robbed not just of your life, but of the very thing that makes you the human being you are. It's a dreadful journey, which more and more unwitting bodies began that night. But just as the flesh can tolerate only so much radiation, it seems the mind can only absorb so much horror before it closes up to protect itself. Perhaps that's logic. Perhaps when the threat exceeds imagination, we conclude that the threat simply cannot be true.
We can't go. We can't leave. We can't. You and me especially. You and me especially.
Yeah.
Right, well, something's stopping water getting into the reactor.
It must be one of the gate valves.
I'll have to open them by hand.
Viktor Brukhanov is the man who built and ran the Chernobyl plant. He was highly respected by his superiors and in line for high honors.
Beside the damage, the radiation. Well, the only equipment we have to measure it, the control room Geiger counters, and they're reading 3.6 rentgen per hour.
Well, that's not that bad, is it? I mean, 3.6. It's nothing.
Nothing, yes. But the scale only goes up to 3.6, and it's off that scale.
But it could be 3.6. It could be 3.6.
Yes, it could be 3.6.
Despite the evidence, the blinding belief was taking hold of the workers at the plant that the reactor must be saved, that flooding it with water was essential. This effort, this sacrifice, was in fact futile.
Kiev are sending 3,000 troops to secure the area. Moscow has appointed a government commission to investigate. Standard procedure, Nick. Nothing I can do about it. First experts get here this afternoon, the rest later tonight. Boris Sherbina will be in charge. He's deputy chairman of the Council of Ministers. I've not met him, but I've certainly met his expert advisor, Valery Legasov of the Kurchatov Institute. Party zealot. He has a lot of friends.
So the roof's destroyed, but there's no damage to the reactor. This is where I come in.
Well, none at all.
I'm to make a brief visit to the plant.
Okay.
To get to the bottom of what's happened.
Thanks.
It'd be a lie to say I didn't feel a jolt of excitement. Pride, even. Yes, there's been a massive explosion, the biggest ever in a nuclear plant, but fatalities are low. As far as we've been told, our technologies and our personnel have coped with the crisis well. Everything is under control.
The reactor is destroyed. It is destroyed. And the readings are not 3.6 rentgen, sir. They are 15,000. 15,000.
No! This is impossible! Don't listen to this, sir. It's the equipment is wrong.
Tulya, you must be wrong. I've told Moscow to...
Throw it in a bin.
There's nothing wrong with the equipment, and I feel extremely ill.
Throw it in the bin, you cretin! Get out! Get out! Imbecile! Idiot!
This is impossible. Sir, I wanted to ask about evacuating Pripyat. Yes, the employees' town next
What
to...
are you talking about? What's the matter with you? You do no such thing. Do not speak of that again. Wait. You gave the readings to be 3.6. Are we now to assume you do not have the situation under control?
Oh, no, we do. I do. Radiation is within normal limits.
The morning of the 26th of April was as warm and beautiful as anyone could remember. Yet, before dawn, the fresh, clear air had already been transformed. Now nothing was harmless. Dust, hair, clothes, the water supply, crops, livestock, the food they make, the milk they make, poison.
A thorough inspection of the reactor building was immediately instigated. Our skilled technical staff confirmed a degree of damage to the structure of Unit 4. Fire did cause some minor damage to the roof of the turbine hall, but it was quickly extinguished by our highly trained fire crews. And since this morning, water has been fed to the reactor in order to cool it, according to... I'm sorry to interrupt.
Sir, this is Prushinsky, Chief Engineer of the State Committee.
The situation is a lot more grave.
Comrade Brukhanov has not finished his report yet.
So the concrete cap on the reactor that weighs about 1,000 tons has been blown to one side by the explosion, and it's now like a massive half-closed eyelid from above. Now the wind direction at the moment is up towards the other...
what's behind this eyelid?
I'm sorry?
What's behind the eyelid?
The core, sir.
The exposed nuclear reactor core.
And it's burning, sir. It's on fire.
Sir, we need to evacuate the town at once and close down the... Comrade Shabina will be here soon, and when he arrives... What is the reading here in town?
Well, even at that height, it's 10,000 rentagens. I don't know where this 3.6 figure came from, but
The readings were below
So
the
we
rent.
need to evacuate the town at once and shut down the remaining reactor. Glasnost nonsense. Evacuating the town will cause panic. People are already leaving because of rumour alone. No. Oh, and bad enough. Your troops will not.
A rumour was spreading, which some believed, but most did not. Safe in the knowledge that they would be told of any threat, 35,000 people spent a sunny Saturday afternoon surrounded by levels of radiation 400 times the accepted norm. And still no warning was given, no action taken, still no iodine given to the 17,000 children whose thyroid glands are now absorbing radiation like a sponge absorbs water. This is no longer the denial of the guilty. Their delusion is falling away with their blistered skin. No, this is the men above them. They are now the blind ones. To them, the truth is a greater threat than the invisible murderer that they know is on the loose.
There's 4 reactors here, of course, 4 units, all identical. The 5th one should be finished this year, and there's another one planned, so in 3 years, this will be the largest plant in the world. This is the 4th one that's coming in now.
This one?
Just to the left of the red and white chimney. Could have done the singing.
What's that light?
It's the reactor. We're looking into the reactor. We have to move. We have to go. Move us away. Just go.
Finally, as our friends in the KGB can confirm, nothing has been reported overseas and nothing in Kiev. Moving on to the reactor. Deputy Minister of Energy Shasharan ordered an inspection.
It's completely destroyed.
Ordered an inspection and can confirm that it is in fact damaged. But we suggest that it be left to burn off.
Did anyone hear what Gennady just said? Look, being destroyed.
Comrade Legasov, you will have your chance to speak later.
I'm sorry, Boris, but it seems there's almost no one in this room who understands what this means. It's on fire. The graphite moderator, which in itself is just unbelievably radioactive, and what's left of the fuel core are on fire. Now, that's about 2,500 tons of carbon, which, burning at 1 ton an hour, will burn roughly for 3 months. And every day that it burns, it will send into the atmosphere more radiation than has ever been released in all the nuclear accidents that have ever happened anywhere in the world, all put together. Every day, for 3 months. You have my word that people asleep in their beds in this town tonight have effectively died today. As I speak, radiation is entering the bodies of everybody in this room. Everybody outside for hundreds of miles. We can no longer pretend. It's criminal. And it's got to stop, and you have got to stop it. I don't know how we can remedy the situation, but it's simply unacceptable to suggest we let it burn out.
Burn off. Then we must quickly and quietly find a remedy and put it out.
Radiation doesn't penetrate lead. Why don't we drop lead from helicopters?
No, not lead. You've got to be careful with this thing. Here's the reactor, yeah? And it's separated from these chambers below by a floor made of concrete and steel. Now, these chambers are now flooded with just hundreds and thousands of gallons of water. Lead blocks drop from that height to simply punch a hole in this floor. The fuel and the gases reach the water, and you get a simply massive, I mean massive, thermal explosion.
What extinguishes this sort of thing?
We've never had this sort of thing, so we don't really know.
We know water won't put it out.
Only possible one is sand. Might have an effect. Maybe add some boron to absorb the neutrons. But we're going to have to watch the temperature like a hawk.
Helicopters, hundreds of them.
Notify the Air Force.
Boris, what about the local population? What about Pripyat?
First thing in the morning, evacuate.
So, the people of Pripyat will end the day in the homes of strangers. Of course, so will the radioactive dust on their hair, their clothes, their bodies, on the wheels of their buses. To limit panic and baggage, they're being told it's just for 3 days, but of course we know better. We don't know if dropping sand will smother the fire, but even if it does, we know that these people will never see their homes again.
Next one up. Stand by Alpha 256.
Thousands of Samrans lay ahead. So too did the investigation into what or who had caused this catastrophe.
These reactors have been around for years, sir. Years. If there's a problem...
It exploded when you hit the AZ button. Why didn't it stop the reaction? You say there couldn't be a design fault, but how else do you explain it?
They'd know. And if they knew, they'd tell us. The protocol would say.
Maybe.
Do you think we'll get the blame for this? You and me?
Yeah, I do.
My idea to save the situation could be pushing us all towards apocalypse. And even the question of blame for this catastrophe is becoming very unclear to me. You knew that the instruments only went up to 3.6.
Valerie.
You knew there was absolutely no way they could give you a true sense of the levels.
Valerie. I was to be decorated this year, honoured, with my picture on the wall. I couldn't just throw that away. And I wanted to believe it could all be salvaged. Truly.
You should never be forgiven, Victor. But you might not be the only reason we're here. What I suspect is true. There isn't an innocent man in the building. I think this is going to catch up with us all. Hello? Boris, we've got the temperature readings through from the chemical boys.
We have our own problems, Valery. The Swedish have just reported radiation in their atmosphere.
Fire temperature is not falling. I can promise you that's a far more concern of the Soviet people than anything the Swedes.